Yo, 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 what's going on, Miami Hurricane fans? Make sure you guys hit that like button. Hit that like button as you guys come in. About to get this thing started. As you guys know, it's ACC Media Day. Of course, you know, there's a lot of talks with Mario Cristobal. Three other players went up to ACC Media Day with him. Tyler Van Dyke, Jafari, Harvey, and Will Mallory. So we're gonna get into it. Some interviews was had. Also, there's some interviews also that Mario Cristobal did with ESPN. As you guys know, the turnover chain has been a conversation. That's pretty much going to be the end of that conversation because turnover chain is done with, guys. No more turnover chains. You guys can let me know how you feel about that in the comment section down below. But anyways, Mario Cristobal is speaking at the ACC Media Day, so let's get into it.
Morning, Coach. Mike Barber from the Richmond Times-Dispatch.
I'm curious, for a new staff, what is the value of having a returning quarterback? What information can you get from him that you might not have access to otherwise?
Well, good morning. Appreciate your question. Well, when you're a new staff, change comes with it, right? And change isn't always the easiest thing to get accustomed to. So when you're in a program like Miami and you get to have these unbelievable young men, and you spoke about or asked about the quarterback in particular, you know, being the most important position on the field in terms of operating an offense, right? It's a tremendous blessing. We made it no secret. We recognize instantly and from far away, because you watch college football at every chance you get, is that, you know, Tyler Van Dyke in that quarterback room is really, really special because you have a natural leader that's one of your hardest workers and continuing to be recognized as the
YouTube TV has no hidden fees and includes unlimited DVR space. YouTube TV, try it free.
Thinking about going solar? Before you do, see what others paid for 3 to 10 kilowatt systems in your
hardest worker that demands as much of himself as he does of anybody else. And that type of mentality and that work ethic is also displayed in the classroom and the way he approaches community service and everything he does. So it's a tremendous benefit, a huge asset for the university and the program, and certainly makes the adjustment a lot more simple.
Coach, to your left, the third row, Bob Holliday, WRL.com. Coach, as you came back to your alma mater in the off-season and assessed the program, what did you find lacking and what did you feel good about?
Well, I don't know if we find stuff to be lacking. I think what I found really impressive was that we brought in a regiment that was very demanding, and these players attacked it and approached it with a no-nonsense mentality. And it demands, I'll tell you, it demands absolutely every ounce of what they have on a daily basis. And not only did they attack it, they excelled in several aspects of it, and we got better. And that's critically important, right? Because your season is going to be a direct reflection of your off season. So it's a great start. There's still, you know, we've come a long way and there's a long way to go. But honestly, I'm just very thankful that they allowed us as a coaching staff to come, whether I played here or not, there's still change, right? And there's a generational gap there that we're very blessed and thankful and honored that they allowed us to bring in a regiment that pushes the way it does, and that all they did was approach it with a great mindset.
Coach, to your right, second row, right at the aisle.
Morning, Coach. Jeremiah Quimby, Legacy Maker Sports Network. Retirement of the turnover chain. A lot of fans are, you know, they're doing their stuff on social media. I'm sure you had a reason.
Good question.
Why we retired the turnover chain?
You know, I think probably the media's put more thought into this than I have. We just really focused on getting better as a program and have focused on technique, fundamentals, regimentation, academics, strength and conditioning, sports science, community service, and that's what the focus has been on. It is not a shot or a form of disrespect to anybody or anyone. Certainly, history is history, and whether it's positive, whether it's inconsequential, whatever it may be, it's still history and part of your program. We're just moving in a direction that, right now doesn't involve it. So that's the best way to address it. But, it's, put it this way, it's been, we've been working so hard and paying attention to so many other things that are, in my opinion, much more critical to winning football games and having success, that it really hasn't been a subject or a topic. So, but, we won't be using it. So you guys okay with that? Okay. We good now? We good. Everybody got the chain stuff? Okay. Thank
Coach,
you.
thank you. To your right, fifth row, gentleman standing.
Joe Marino, Draft Network. Coach, given your background with offensive line, I wanted to ask you about your impressions of Zion Nelson. And, he's been a mainstay for this offensive line for years to come. Just your thoughts on where he's at in his development.
Explosive, really impressive athlete, great balance and body control, heavy-handed, light feet, great knowledge of the game, great feel for the game, understands leverage, can get that second foot in the ground, because dig his heels in the ground and get his hands inside and unlock those hips and go low to high. He's an impressive guy. He really is. And he has a very strong appetite to get better. He allows himself and wants to be pushed. He's always trying to find extra work. And he is joined by a lot of other guys that on that offensive line that have the same mindset. So between him and the rest of those guys, really excited about that group and the team in general. But he has a super, super bright future.
Coach, to your left in the first row, right in front of you on the edge.
Coach Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Welcome to the conference.
Thank you.
To take a look at the fact that you're coming into a conference that's going to have this model of divisions for one more season and then switch to the 3-5-5, just what you can say about this season having divisions one more time around and what you think of that 3-5-5 model moving forward.
Well, it seems like an effective, a potentially effective model. When they run the numbers, it seems like over the years there's not much difference of what would have been a division model versus a non-division model. It's weird. I've just spent 5 years at a place where you had to win your division before you advanced, and it meant a lot. It meant a lot to programs. So that adjustment and what it means, I'm not sure yet. It seems like the results for the most part end up being the same. So I think that'll have to run its course and take a couple year cohort to figure out exactly, all right, how does that really impact what we're trying to do?
Coach, turning back to your right about the eighth row in the middle.
Aslan Hunjavandi, warchant.com. Coach, we hear so much about culture changing. Is culture merely habits? How long does it take to change a culture? And is a new coach arriving, isn't that the sign of the culture changing?
Well, we're real simple. I think these guys will echo that, we always hammer home how you do anything is how you do everything. And that early is on time, right? That's going to be the most important factor in being successful and being productive. You got to show up. And showing up early also shows a level of mental intensity that something is important to you, right? What's more disrespectful than showing up late, right? What's more disrespectful than not paying attention to get ready to do your job, right? It shows something like that would show a lack of mental intensity. So the way we, for us, there really are no little things. If it's a thing, it's a thing, and things are important. They're all big things. So these guys, they're made of the right stuff. They really are. Our job is to provide a blueprint that demands every ounce of everything they have as it relates to academics, football, community service, just doing the right things. And it comes with discipline, and discipline, I've yet to see a good football team that didn't have discipline. And there's so many things that are going on that are really, really positive with our program. People have asked about challenges and change this and change that. I don't like to think of it that way. I like to think of it as opportunity. Miami's been an unbelievable program for a long time. And, we have an opportunity this year to get better and start elevating things to a certain standard as well. And that's the way we look at it. That's the best way to honor the past. And that's the best way to go forward. So all our focus is on us right now and getting ready for camp to have the best season we can.
Coach, to your left, third row.
Coach Brian Murphy, WRAL. Commissioner Phillips and other coaches have called for a national standard for NIL. I wonder your experience with NIL in this first year and what you'd like to see moving forward.
Well, I think that it seems pretty obvious that as a university, as an athletics program, that our student athletes have done really well with NIL. As a coach, you're not allowed to really delve in it. You know what I mean? So, but since it is part of the changes in college football, and it is a constitutional right, you know, we have a positive mindset towards that. And we're also very fortunate to be in arguably the best city in the world and one of the more prominent and growing cities in the entire world as well. That's just constantly ascending. So all that is helpful, along with prominent alumni that, you know, could be supportive in a role where NIL is a real positive thing. And I know our guys have learned a lot and have benefited a lot from it. And I think as we get to know more about it, and I think that's what everybody really desires, just a little bit more clarity so that from a direction standpoint, we can all understand it better to maximize it, but at the same time, make sure that the educational aspect is real, that we're providing a better path for a better future. That's what it's about, right? All the other stuff and the noise around it, I don't really get into that. It's all about these guys and their future. I know when I was a student athlete, I would have loved to have had it. We didn't. But I know that the experience as a Miami Hurricane was a game changer for me. And it's a big reason why I'm blessed to have this opportunity to come back and why I jumped right at it. So now I have to make sure that I do everything for them to have the same type of game-changing.
Guys, make sure you hit that like button. Give it a second here. And we should be right back in it. All right, here we go.
Experience. NIL is part of that now. It is, and it's a big part of it right now. So, but it's still about keeping the main thing the main thing. You just got to make sure that that marriage of these different things is one that makes sense and one that is productive.
Back to Dan right there in the front row to your left.
Coach, when you talk about coming back, and like you said, it was something that you wanted to jump on to be a part of this university again, what feels the same and what's different? When you step back on campus and you look around, what are those similarities and what to you is changing at Miami?
Well, the first thing, it still is a difficult choice, you know, because when you're a coach, you spend so much time trying to get to year 4, 5, 6, right? Because that's when your first recruiting class becomes juniors, seniors, right, or move on. And that's what we left behind, you know, arguably, well, not arguably, the best pool of talent that Oregon has seen in a long time. Awesome guys, and wishing them the best. When you come back, I don't get caught up in nostalgia theater. I don't, because times change and things change. But what remains the same is that Green Tree practice field, that the work done on there for decades, the best football players in college and professional football, blood, sweat, and tears out there every single day. The camaraderie of the alumni and the current players was something that was always really strong and was a big reason why I wanted to go to Miami. I did. I loved going to practice and watching all these former players come back. They looked like assistant coaches. I mean, they'd be jumping in there, coaching up guys, probably upsetting the coaches that they were teaching probably a little bit better than some of them. But the amount of passion and true brotherhood behind it was something I was really attracted to. I was attracted to the level of competition on the field. That field looked like game day. That practice looked like an absolute knockout, drag-out championship game. And I love that, and I was attracted to that. And we want to attract guys that are attracted to that as well, and to understand the balance that comes with being a great student and being a great member of society as well. So in terms of change, I don't need a GPS to get around Miami. I mean, it's the only place in the world where I can just, know every shortcut street, every crack in every street, where the one-way stop sign, all that stuff. So I don't know. I haven't had much time to focus on anything else except doing what we can to get our players to their maximum potential.
All right, guys. So as you guys see, Mario Cristobal spoke at, the ACC Media Day. Just wanted to play that for you guys, so you got to have the context of what he said. As you guys also see in the chat, there's a poll about the turnover chain. As you guys heard, Mario said it. Man, the turnover chain is gone, guys. So for those of you that loved it, whatever you felt that it did for Miami, it's gone. New era, new regime. Out with Manny, out with the chain. It is what it is. Now, in a second here, we're gonna bring up the interview also for Tyler Van Dyke. Like I said, Harvey and Will Mallory also. So you guys could get to hear what they said at this media day, and then we're gonna basically go into a discussion on this. So let's bring up my guy, Tyler Van Dyke. Of course, quarterback going into this season, Heisman candidate, early Heisman candidate, whatever. Let's see if it, play out on the field. I hope it does now. Hope my guy's in New York, but, let's talk. Let's talk ACC Media Day.
Mike Barber from the Richmond Times-Dispatch. You heard me ask Coach, but what is your responsibility as a returning quarterback to help a new coaching staff kind of get established with the program?
Yeah, for me, I would just say leading the team, making sure everyone's doing what they got to do. Leadership is a big thing, especially for my position. It's all about impacting guys and making sure they got to do what they got to do. So it's all about leadership.
We're going to get the microphone still on the right side, about midway in the block.
Hey, Tyler, Miles Williams of the three-point conversion. How fun is it for you going to be working with new coordinator Josh Gaddis? And as a quarterback, how difficult is it to understand a new system?
Yeah, I love Coach Gaddis. He's bringing a lot of things that we never had last year. Coming from a lot of the RPOs we ran last year, we're doing a lot more play action, full field read pass concepts, and I'm really excited for it. He likes to, utilize the talent we have, the running backs and the tight ends to the best ability. So I'm really excited for that and can't wait for it.
To your left in the front row, right in front of you, Tyler.
Tyler, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. You ended last season, the last 4 games of the regular season, with over 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns in each of those games in a season where you didn't expect to necessarily be out there as early as you were. So what can you say about what was clicking at the end of last year, and how do you build on that?
Before the season, I was prepared like I was a starter, always watching extra film, always doing what I had to do in case the opportunity came. So, I think the biggest thing is confidence. You can't play football, or especially quarterback, without confidence. So, that was the biggest thing for me. And I had my team, they had my back, and, we just rallied behind the entire team.
Tyler, to your right, almost the far right, gentleman just now standing.
Tyler, Ira Schofeld with warchant.com. When you got on the field last season, I think a lot of people were wondering why you hadn't been on the field before. Did something click for you once you got into games? Were you playing at that level in practices as well? Or once you got the opportunity, did your play raise to another level?
Yeah, I would say I improved a lot last year over the year. Like I said before, it's all about confidence and understanding your capabilities. And, the team had my back. And, I thought I was practicing well, but I feel like when I got on that field and got that confidence from my teammates and my coaches, that was the biggest thing for me that changed throughout the season.
Back to your left in the third row.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com. The great Miami teams to the past had great run-pass balance. Last year, you guys were 12th in rushing. Do you feel like you can run the ball better this year, or does it matter?
Yeah, we'll definitely run the ball better this year. Coach CRISTOBAL did a great job of getting a couple offensive line in here and really emphasizing toughness and physicality. At the end of last season, we really had 1 or 2 guys that could run the ball, and now we brought in another guy, a freshman, and we got Don Cheney back. Everyone knows Rooster, so I'm excited what the run game is going to be like. Coach Gaddis brought in a lot of gap schemes, all that stuff. So I'm really excited to really balance the run pass game out.
Tyler, to the right, dead center of the block.
I'm Katrina Sackler with Sports and Culture Media. You are a redshirt sophomore with obvious high draft potential. So it's obviously hard not to look forward and anticipate what you have for not only this season, but your future. How much thought have you put into your future just, beyond this season?
Honestly, I really don't think about all that. I just trying to focus on the team and winning because, without player success, you have to have team success. So as you can see last year, we were 7-5, only had one guy drafted. So, I mean, you have to have the team success to have player success.
Tyler, your last question comes from the podium. Off the field, what will you do to help your coach establish his program?
I can get you.
You know, I'll just say being a leader, getting those guys to rally and everyone become a leader. You know, he always emphasizes discipline and doing the right things off the field. How you do anything is how you do everything, like you said. So whether that's showing up for class or showing up on time for community service, you know, you got to do all the details right, and then everything will come.
All right, so that was Tyler Van Dyke, basically, you know, answering a question at ACC Media Day. Next up, we're gonna have Will Mallory. So Will Mallory will be, you know, giving his interview. You know, as you guys know, so like I said, ACC Media Day, they bring up three players and the coach, of course, each year. This year it was Will Mallory, Jafari, Harvey, and Tyler Van Dyke. So let's see what Will Mallory had to say. Queuing that up for you guys right now. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys hit that like button, please, and thank you. That's the best way to support the channel.
When you see Tyler and all this, he's got that natural confidence. Like Coach said, he's got that natural leadership. He's a guy that you want to play for, that guys rally around. We're fortunate that we have him on our team because I wouldn't want to be playing against him, that's for sure. But, you know, Tyler he's a guy, he's the leader, he's our guy. So it's easy to follow him, it's easy to want to play for him just because of how he is as a person and how he is as a competitor.
Will, to your right, middle of the section.
Cortland Griffin with the 3-point conversion. Will, so you're one of the best tight ends in the ACC, arguably one of the best tight ends in the nation, and you chose to come back to Miami. What played into you returning back to the program?
Yeah, I think there's a lot left that I wanted to prove to myself. You know, there's a lot left that I think I want to, you know, go down and be remembered as a Miami Hurricane. So this place is special to me. You know, it would be hard to leave, and I just wasn't ready to leave yet. I'm fortunate that I get to come back with a special coaching staff, special players, guys like Tyler, new offense that I'm really excited to play in. We've got a good tight end group too that I was excited to come back and, you know, lead that. So I was really fortunate to be here for one last ride. Just excited to make the most of it.
Will, to your left in the front row.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. He just said, you know, being a part of a team that has this coaching staff, when you have the opportunity to move on and move forward and not have to go through a coaching change, some people would take that road. Why did you want to be a part of this Miami team with this staff?
Yeah, you know, when things were changing, we were kind of all scrambling. We didn't know what was going to happen. Coach CRISTOBAL came in, and I know we were fortunate to get him. And then week by week, kind of just saw the additions that he was making. And just gets you that more excited. So, you know, I wouldn't want to play for anyone else from the last year. So really fortunate to have him, have all the other support staff there because it's something special. You know, he's a guy that you want to play for, that you want to work for, and that you want to win for. So couldn't be more lucky, more blessed to be able to play for a man like him.
Will, from the podium, is it more rewarding for you to break a run for Tyler Van Dyke or catch a pressure pass from your quarterback? Which would you rather do?
Sorry, can you say that again? Okay.
What's more rewarding for you, breaking a big run for your quarterback, being on the lead block, or catching a pressure pass from him?
You know, there's a Virginia touchdown that we had that I kind of blocked for him, and that was pretty rewarding. It was fun to watch him run. You know, people don't think he is as fast as he is, but he shows that he's got wheels. So that was a lot of fun, you know, to see him get in the end zone. I think that's more rewarding. Watch your guys get in the end zone, celebrate with them, because that's what it's all about, you know, be there with your team.
Other questions for Will from the room? If not, we'll ask again from the podium. You've got 34 games under your belt. What have you learned about yourself through your own football evolution?
Yeah, I played a lot of football, and I think each year I've improved. Learned a lot about myself, especially last year. There's a lot to improve on. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of focus, and that's what it takes to improve, to better yourself as a player, better yourself for your team. You just got to put the work in. Trust the process that the coaches put forth. And it's been good. Like I said, I learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about myself as a player. And just decided to improve on that this year.
One last question for you. There are some records you could break this year. Do you think about such things?
Yeah, when it's mentioned, it's cool to hear. As a kid growing up around Jeremy Shockey, Jimmy Graham, I never thought that one day I'd be playing here nonetheless. Have the opportunity to break some records, but I don't focus on that. We do what we do. We work hard. Things will take care of themselves with team success. That could come and that'd be awesome. But I'm more focused on the team, getting to work for this season, and more focused on winning. And if I break some records while that happens, that's awesome. But more just focused on the team overall.
All right. So next up, we got defensive end Jafari Harvey. So I'm gonna bring him up. All right. Like I said, guys, while I cue this thing up, hit the like button for me. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the chat.
Your attraction to snakes?
Oh man, yeah, I love animals since I was real young. I just grew up, South Florida kid, going out catching lizards outside with friends. So it's just something, I developed at a young age and still love them to this day.
So as a follow-up, is it hard to find roommates?
Oh no, it wasn't too hard. They were pretty accepting of it. It wasn't too bad.
Question from the room. We'll take it to the right. Jafari, be about the 8th row. Gentleman now standing.
As on HunchVandyWarChant.com. I asked Coach about culture and how long it takes for things to change for a team. I mean, you're an actual player, so is it begin day one? Have you guys bought in? Has the culture changed, or is that something that's going to take months, years, maybe even after you're gone to really take hold?
Since the first day the new staff came, I feel like everybody bought in pretty well. We got a group of hard workers over there at the youth, so it just felt different. Walking around there, it felt like coaches just changed almost automatically. Everybody goes in there ready to work every day, same energy every day, just getting there ready to grind.
Jafari, to your left in the front row.
Jafari, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. On that D-line, obviously Coach has been active in the transfer portal to bring in some depth there. What can you say about the newcomers that are coming into Miami and what that transfer portal could do for that line?
We got a lot of talent, from the transfer portal. A lot of guys coming in. We got some vets and some younger guys. I feel like everybody that came will make an instant impact on the D-line. Them boys came in. Them boys bought in the first day. Them boys came in here ready to work, ready to play, ready to go win some games.
Jafari, to your left, 3rd row. Bob Halliday, WL.com. Jafari, you guys were 3rd in the league last year in sacks and 2nd in tackles for loss, and yet that only led to the now retired turnover chain coming out 11 times. And you guys were almost dead last in turnover margin. Can this defense force more turnovers this year?
Oh yeah, most definitely. With the coaching we got here on the defensive line, especially, we got some great coaches. A lot of guys got NFL experience. A lot of guys came in. I feel like we'll improve very much. In sacks, tackle for loss, especially turnovers. I feel like everybody brought in, so coming to fall camp, working hard. We'll have a great defense this year.
Jafari, again, here from the podium, what have you been doing this offseason to improve your pass rush for this season?
With the new coaching, we got, going there extra every day, after practice, after you had a long practice over there in the spring, down in Miami, it gets hot outside. So I feel like running extra, when you're tired, working on that get off after practice. So, late in that 4th quarter, your legs still feel, fresh than everybody else.
Fill in the blank for us. The defense will be successful this year if. Fill in the blank. The defense will be successful this year if.
Well, defense will be successful, but I feel like relentless effort, hard work will take care of itself.
Other questions for our defensive end from the room? If not, then I'll follow up with my last one. I asked this gently, going back to the snakes that you're so fond of. If you could describe the characteristic of a snake compared to the way that you play on the field, what commonalities between a snake and the way you play?
Well, a snake's always ready to strike, always hunting for prey. So I'd probably be the biggest similarity.
All right, guys. So there you have it. Basically, all the interviews that came out of ACC Media Day for the University of Miami. Started with Mario Cristobal, and of course, all three of the guys that went on the trip. I think they all did a phenomenal job there. Also, there is an interview with Mario Cristobal with ESPN. 2 interviews that kind of want to, get into a little bit before we, open up the show and start, having some conversations. And appreciate everybody in the chat too. I'll get to the chat in a minute, but just want to get through some of these interviews. Thought they were done pretty well. All right, so this interview is coming from ESPN, of course, out of ACC Media Day with Mario Cristobal, of course. So let's get into it.
As a new head coach, Mario Cristobal spoke at ACC Media Day today, taking over his alma mater after 4+ years at Oregon. There, he put up a 35-13 record, winning 2 Pac-12 titles and the Rose Bowl in the 2019 season. Now he returns to Miami, his hometown, and to a school where he won 2 national championships as a player. Sometimes the head coaching vacancy in a candidate just fits, and that's certainly the case for Mario Cristobal, returning to his alma mater to be the head coach of Miami. And, Coach, how is it being back home?
It's the ultimate of ultimates is what it is. Best way to describe it. Now, it's been nonstop, so it hasn't really – I haven't had a chance to have it settle in. But, every now and then when I run across the street to get a bite to eat and I run into my Little League baseball coach or football coach, it brings back some stuff. So it's just awesome.
Yeah, and you mentioned growing up there and running into your Little League coach, people that don't know your history. You played there from 1989 to 1992. It was the heyday of Miami football. So, Coach, as a former player, now the head coach, help everyone out. What does the U, when it's at its peak, mean?
And I still know it as UM, right? Back in the day, it was known as UM, Miami. And when Miami is performing and rolling at a certain level, there's nothing like it. And it's been proven under a number of different coaches. But the key to all that was not the flashy stuff or proclamations or tweets or, T-shirts. It was all about the work, man. The work done on Green Tree practice field. That thing looked like a Pro Bowl, on weekday afternoons and on weekend scrimmages. And I used to be a guy that went out there at every opportunity as a kid before high school and during high school to watch that work. And I loved it. I was completely attracted to it. But that was the recipe. Those were the ingredients and the formula to Miami being that type of a program. And those are the things that we've gotten back to and the things that we have to work at to get to that level.
So the flash, everyone knows like the flash and the glitz and the glamour of that era. Was that a byproduct of the work that you guys were doing that you're talking about?
100%. I mean, take a look at our city. Our city was built by really hard-working people, And then Miami, when it finally got it going in '83, it was built by an unbelievable coach who brought in some tough, hard-working guys that loved the game, were all into it, and they attracted others like them, and that's what created that confidence, which people referred to as swagger. Jimmy Johnson defined it perfectly when we had that coaches clinic. So that's what it is, brother. It's about getting to work with high-level people that live and die this stuff, and that's what Miami is back to right now, working.
So this explains then the decision to, you know what, turnover chain was great, but we're going to put it back in its box. That era is over. Is that why?
Yeah. You know, it's just not part of what we're doing. I think I respect everyone and everything, but Miami's focus has to be on technique, fundamentals, physicality, toughness, effort, being relentless, academics, doing well in the community. That's what our focus has to be. Anything else aside from that, it's just not going to help us get better. So that's it won't be part of us going forward.
Yeah, and I don't want to ask this question in a way of disparaging coaches that have come before you, but what has been missing? Let's just say since that 0-1 team, which you could argue is the most talented team to ever put on shoulder pads, what's been missing to get Miami back to where it needs to be?
Well, you know, not having been here, and I know I've watched some games and studied last season and whatnot, and we've been working with the team as a program for the last 7 months, but as opposed to saying what's missing, it's more like what does Miami need to do to be a great football team? It starts with discipline, right? You have to be a better tackling team. Last year, we were actually the worst in the country at it. Penalty-wise, we dropped to last in the ACC. Those are directly related to discipline, and discipline requires everything you have, and it requires it all the time. It's in how you do everything, right? Or how you do anything is how you do everything. That's a mentality. That's a way of life. And understanding that and putting that to use is what we need to get to, what we've gotten to over the past 7 months, and we still have work to do.
You see Alabama, we see Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia. I think anyone wouldn't argue that all of them are at the height of their powers. Where would Miami rank when you guys are at the height of your power?
Well, we talk about comparing those teams back then to some of these teams now. They're all comparable because they were all winning multiple championships. You know, so comparing times and eras, you know, those things can get tricky and dicey. And next thing you know, you're on the front page of a Twitter post or whatnot. So I don't get any of all that stuff, man. You know, I know this is I've been fortunate to be a player under one and to be a coach under another, the ones that we just mentioned. And the parallels are just strikingly, just glaringly common and clear. It's about the right people that are talented, but also have the mentality and the discipline to work at a certain level on a consistent basis to get after and take things to another level.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for avoiding the Twitter clickbait. I thought for sure maybe just to get a little something out there to generate some buzz. Because I'm proud of you that you're trying to avoid all of that this media days.
Well, yeah, it's been one of those days, man. You know, it's been like Donkey Kong around here a little bit.
You get a great quarterback back in Tyler Van Dyke, getting a lot of preseason buzz. Offense has some skill guys returning, very young on that side of the ball. You bring in Josh Gaddis from Michigan. What's the comfort level knowing that a lot of that offense is back?
There's a level of, I wouldn't say comfort, I'd say excitement, just because there's a quarterback that's extremely talented and has a high capacity. He can handle a lot now, and he understands the game inside and out. He understands the other side of the ball. He understands leverage, numbers, angles, all that stuff. He's great at dissecting coverages. He's extremely decisive, and off the field, his demeanor, his work ethic matches that of the best. He's that type of a guy. So he is a complete and utter blessing, elite human being as he is a competitor, and he's surrounded by a strong core that is having a heavy influence on our team, and our team is working hard.
Sure.
Credit to our players, because change is hard, brother. Change is hard, and I'm pretty difficult. We run a very demanding program that requires everything that you have, and they've taken to it. They've done a great job attacking it, and more is coming at them. We're not going to take our foot off the gas.
I feel like I've been house, just the love between you two, but I have to bring in another guest, and that is Miami head coach Mario Cristobal. And coach, I'm not sure how much you heard, but Desmond Howard predicted that you guys are going to end your drought. What's your reaction to him singing praises for you guys this season?
My reaction, I want to see the reaction when Desmond realizes he's actually coaching our punt returners and kick returners in fall camp here in August.
Ooh. Okay.
I'll be at practice.
More Hall of Famers.
The first day of practice, I'll be out there. Coach.
I mean, Coach, it's so
Put you
great.
on the Jason Taylor contract.
It's so
there we
great.
go. There we go.
It's so great to have you here with us on First Take. I mean, we were just talking about just your move to Miami, your alma mater. What does it mean to you to be the lead man for this program?
Well, Miami is like, it's everything to me. Being a Miami Hurricane, it's been in my blood forever since I was a kid. I used to do everything possible to bust my butt to get to the Orange Bowl to watch them play. I used to come over to practice when I was in high school and watch Michael Irvin and Benny Blades and Jerome Brown and Winston Moss and some of those just absolute super studs go at it. Alonzo Highsmith is with us now. So to have the opportunity to play there and it being such a game-changing experience for me in my life, to be able to have this opportunity to come back home, it's the ultimate of ultimate. So fired up as it can possibly be.
Yeah, and you got a lot of former Hurricanes fired up, including Greg Olson, who had this to say about you recently, quote, "He's the guy for the job. If he can't do it, nobody can do it." So I ask you, do you feel any extra pressure to bring Miami back to prominence?
You know, as a Miami Hurricane, I think Edgar James said it the other day. It's like we don't feel pressure. You want to be the pressure. And the most important thing in being here is not talking about it or tweeting about it, creating T-shirts about it, all that proclamation stuff. We got to get to work. Miami's really good when Miami works their butts off and puts in time on Green Tree practice field. The blood, the sweat, the time. When they become tight as a team, when that brotherhood comes together, when the alumni come back and they look like extra coaches because they're so involved in what's going on in practice. That's when Miami's really good, and that's the only thing that we're focused on right now.
Coach, you understand
Coach
the culture of
III.
Miami and what it takes for the Canes to be relevant, for them to be winners again. When you took the job and you started to observe what was going on in Coral Gables, what did you think was the missing element to the Canes returning back to prominence? Now, I was told last night by my son and my wife that you've gotten rid of the turnover chain. What moves do you think you had to make to get the Canes back to prominence?
Well, I think first and foremost, we have to establish a standard, right? And how you do anything is how you do everything, whether it be your lifts, your training sessions, 7-on-7, going to class, community service. We have to reestablish our DNA where everything is done at a championship level. And that's easy to talk about and hard to do. The physicality in practice has to be a different level. It has been. The way we train, the way we've added sports science, the way that we eat, the way we conduct our daily lives and processes, so we have to be held to a very high standard. We can't compromise anything, right? We have to make sure that most of our work is done between the ears to establish the mindset of being a Miami Hurricane. And credit to the players. Desmond, what we've thrown at these guys, it is as hard as humanly imaginable. It's very demanding, and they have attacked it, and they've approached it with a great mentality and a great attitude. We've made progress, and we still have a long ways to go.
Well, Coach Cristobal, you've done a great job. If I was a recruit at home right now, I would want to go to the U after listening to you talk. And I was one of those kids who grew up idolizing the U and the attitude era and everything that was about that. But I'm going to keep it a little bit more light. You know, when we talked when you were at Oregon, you talked about how your mom sends you that coffee from the motherland. Do you feel good that it's going to be a little bit easier to get that coffee now that you're back down there in Miami?
Well, the first thing is when I hear that you wanted to play for Miami, I know a lot of people. I can have a new ID and social security number for you within the next 2 hours. We can restart your career in Miami. Come back and play college football. I know some people, but
did Mario just go Breaking Bad on that?
There is the coffee is unmatched. I like making the coffee myself. In fact, when you guys come to visit, I'm gonna personally make sure I prepare that coffee for you a certain way. You're gonna be bouncing off the walls for a week and a half, but you'll be thankful later.
Oh yeah, I'm taking you up on that one, Coach. We're gonna make it happen.
Desmond mentioned this, Coach, but I do want to just get just a further response to this. Like, you did decide to get rid of the turnover chain according to your conversation with the Action Network. Like, what led to that decision? Because I know it was a fan favorite, but what was your process in making that decision?
We're just focused on other stuff. We're focused on technique, fundamentals, toughness, finish, academics, community, leadership, all those things. It's just not part of it. No offense to anybody. We got to roll. Kane's got to get to work.
Well, thank you so much, Coach, for joining us and coming on early and surprising, obviously, Desmond. He has high hopes for you, and so do a lot of people across the college football landscape. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us here on First Take.
Okay, appreciate you guys. Go Canes.
Oh man, what's going on, Kane's family? And what's up, Hayden ass Peanut? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing today? So basically, like I said, ACC Media Day, it's going on right now. Well, you guys seeing the interviews coming out, talking to the players, all that good stuff. We even seen some of the other schools. Everybody's media day is going on, SEC Media Day and all that good stuff too. I did see some shocking stuff that did come out of one of those media. It's like a video. I'm not sure how you guys feel, but you guys could tell me in the chat right now. Would you guys ever put mayonnaise in your coffee? Let me know in the chat right now. Would you guys ever put mayonnaise in your coffee? Have you ever put mayonnaise in your coffee? And I'll give you guys a second to respond to that. Let me see how many of you guys actually done that before, because shockingly, a player actually put mayo in his coffee at these social media days, actually drunk it right in front of everybody. So it's kind of tough, man. See if I could pull up that video for you guys. So, if you got a weak stomach, this might be the time that you click off the video. But I'm going to try to find that for you guys. But a lot of good stuff came out of this media day. We finally got some, what's the word for it? Closure when it comes to this turnover chain thing, why it was being taken away, what's the focus, stuff like that. We had plenty of time to know that, the chain wasn't coming back. I think Maribal kind of spilled that in an interview earlier on during the year. So, it is what it is. Turnover chain is gone. Miami's just going to be focused on winning games. Miami is just going to be focused on winning games. Okay, let me see what's going on with this Mayo thing. Yeah, no. What the F? Hell no. Yeah. You say that's an Alabama thing. Mayo in the coffee, man. That's something strange to me. I never thought anybody would actually do that. Yeah, I didn't think anybody would actually put some mayo in their coffee. So, yeah, like I said, I'm about to play the video for you guys right now. So if you got a weak stomach or something like that, like I said, this might be the time for you to click off this video. This might be that time for you to click off this video. If you got a weak stomach, then But let me stop talking, and here we go. So,
Will Levis, quarterback at the University of Kentucky, and I have been known to put mayonnaise in my coffee sometimes.
Oh, you get this.
No, God, please, no, no.
Will Levis, quarterback quarterback at the University of Kentucky, and I have been known to put mayonnaise in my coffee sometimes.
Oh, you get this.
Oh man, I've been talking this whole time and I've been on mute. My bad, guys. But basically, I guess tomorrow, 9 a.m., he'll make his decision. Alabama, Georgia, Miami, Ohio State, and Oregon. So far, I think it's between right now. I think it comes down to Miami and Alabama. Alabama was his favorite school. Miami had, got a lot of traction on him on the trail. So let's see if we could land him. If not, then hey, it is what it is. Recruiting doesn't end in July. So if we don't get him, then there's a possibility that they could flip him. But recently we saw videos of him and the Miami commit 5-star Francis at IMG. They was there during the Future 50 event that they had going on, just watching those two practice and go up against each other and stuff like that. It'll be amazing to have both of these guys on the same team. So let's just see, man. The CRISTOBALs, like I said, is kind of shifting towards Alabama now. Miami was leading, but more people are putting in their CRISTOBAL. So let's see. Recently they put in the past couple of days now 4 CRISTOBALs has came in for Alabama now. Wolfong, one of the most top-rated guys when it comes to these Cristobal, dropped the one for Alabama. So, and that was yesterday. So, seems like Alabama might end up getting this kid. Gabby also put in Cristobal today for him to go to Alabama. And this Bill guy, not quite sure who he is, but he's a Ohio State fan, Ohio State insider. He's also putting it in for Alabama. So not the end of the world if we don't get this guy, but it is what it is. He would be a great get for Miami, And if we don't end up getting them guys, don't be one of them fans. Don't be like, oh, the kid did the kid this, the kid that, and all kind of stuff. He's still great talent, whether or not we get him or not. So that's going to happen tomorrow, his commitment. And then on the 23rd, though, that'll be a huge day for the University of Miami. That'll be a huge day to literally watch commitments, because a lot of commitments are going down on the 23rd. Let me see. We're on the 23rd. We'll start off Janelle. From what I'm hearing, it's coming down to either Miami or Georgia. So we could keep an eye out on that in the next couple of days, see if anything comes out. But I'm thinking it's between Miami and Georgia. Jamila Day is on top of that one. So we'll see if we can get him to come. He was looking at Georgia a lot because of Jamila Day. So Jamila Day is now in Miami. So we'll see how that goes. Malik Bryant, of course, I do think this linebacker is a Miami Hurricane, but he'll make his decision also. Another one that will be making a decision, not quite sure. It's been an up and down with this kid, Pate Cortland. Every week it's something different. Now, I seen one of the 0-3 guys put out a prediction for him to go to Texas, and immediately afterwards he shut it down, basically saying that he never even visit Texas. Why would he even go to Texas? So seemed like some, up and down kind of trolling thing been going on with his recruitment. So Miami and Florida Gators, I think, and Michigan State, those are the three teams that I think he's possibly going to go to one of them. I'm not quite sure what's his relationship with Florida is like, with the whole trolling and the food and all that kind of crap. His mom getting sick from visiting them, that kind of thing. So Pate Cortland is one of those guys that we'll watch out for. If he commits to Miami, that'll be great. But if he doesn't, no hard feelings. He'll make his decision on the 23rd at 7. Malik Bryant, he'll make his at 5:25. And Janelle, he'll make his decision at, according to 247 Sports, it's 8 a.m. in the morning. Not quite sure if that's going to happen that early, but if it does, then I'll let you guys know. But I think it was updated from him not to make that decision that early. And one that is not listed on here is Bonsu. Jalen Bonsu. He'll be making his decision also. He was supposed to make it yesterday, but he switched his date to the 23rd. So I think Miami on the 23rd, which is this Saturday, will get a lot of commitments. If not all of the kids that we target, we'll definitely get a good 2 or 3 of them. So, oh man. See, we got a $2 donation here from Boxing Monster. Say UM is the official school of stop it. That's a Florida State fan. If anything to do with that flag, it definitely would be Florida State. Wasn't y'all an all-girls school, all-clown school too? That's, yeah. I don't think you want to wave that flag too much. It might bring back some FSU memories. But yeah, guys, Media Day went down, like I said. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. We can have a small discussion on what you guys see going on in Miami, how you guys are feeling about the program, that kind of good stuff. And for those of you guys that probably missed the media fiasco that happened with Paul Feinbaum and Mad Dog, basically talking about Miami as a brand, whether Miami would be a good fit for the SEC. to my surprise, Feinbaum actually came to the rescue or defense of the University of Miami for the first time ever. Normally he just trash talk us, but that was kind of shocking. Links in the chat for anybody that want to have, any kind of small dialogue about what's going on, how they feeling about Miami going into the season. What did you pick up from, the Mario Cristobal interviews today? Also, your thoughts on the turnover chain. Final thoughts on the turnover chain, guys. Since it's been made clear today that the turnover chain is gone, anybody that wants to come in and give their final thoughts on the turnover chain, you can do so. We will not be talking about the turnover chain ever again on this channel. So this is that time where they say at the wedding, speak now or forever hold your peace. Hit the link. The link is in the chat. If not, if nobody wants to come in and give any thoughts and opinion, we'll probably end the show. But I do want to give you guys, the opportunity to do so. So all you got to do is hit the link. The link is in the chat right now. All right. While you guys do that, see what's going on in the Twitterverse. And also, after tomorrow, if Olsu or Olsen, however you want to say his name, if he commits to the University of Miami, I will be checking out the Alabama message boards, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna be crying a lot, gonna be talking a lot of smack about Miami, and basically make a video clowning them for doing so. Episode 3, crying Alabama fans. But might not have to, because from all these Cristobal, they might end up getting them. They might not have to cry tomorrow. But Saturday, guys, make sure Saturday, guys, be on the lookout. Miami is gonna be making a lot of noise on Saturday. Oh man.
Because you were overexcited, make sure you back down the weight. Don't fight through soreness. The goal of the 45-day challenge is to complete the 45-day challenge. Get up every day with a great attitude. Show up. Put something positive in the world. Do 100 buys, do 100 tries every single day, and get juicy biceps. Oh, yes. Juicy. What up? Coach Feld here, day 2 of the 45-day challenge. If you, like everybody else, overdid it on day 1 because you were overexcited, make sure you back down the weight. Don't fight through soreness. The goal of the 45-day challenge is to complete the 45-day challenge. Get up every day with a great attitude. Show up. Put something positive in the world. Do 100 buys, do 100 tries every single day, and get juicy biceps. Oh, yeah.
So I'm not sure if any of y'all caught it, but Coach Felt, basically he got his 45-day challenge going on. Yesterday was the first one he dropped. So for those of y'all that didn't see it, I'll play that one too. But he got his 45-day challenge. Today's challenge, he's saying do lightweight, I guess 100 or 2 sets of 50. I'm not quite sure, what weights you want to do or whatever. But if you want to, do a challenge or try to get some kind of fitness going on in the gym or anything like that, if you want to participate in his 45-day challenge, then, that'll be cool. Let's go back to that was day 2. So let's see what he said in day 1.
Out here, day 1 of the 45-day challenge, and you can consider this your call to arms. Remember, the most important part of the 45-day challenge is showing up. Get up, get 100 buys, get 100 tries, and make sure to put something positive in the world every single day. Don't forget to uplift your brothers and sisters on their journey to juice your arms. Because remember, bigger biceps make you better at everything. Oh yeah, juicy. What up? Coach Feld here, day 1 of the 45-day challenge, and you can consider this your call to arms. Remember, the most important part of the 45-day challenge is showing up. Get up, get 100 buys, get 100 tries, and make sure to put something positive into the world every single day. Don't forget to uplift your brothers and sisters on their journey to juice your arms. Because remember, bigger biceps make you better at everything. Oh, yeah.
Man, can you imagine having this dude as your personal trainer, bro? The kind of energy, man, I don't think you would ever have one of them days where you just say, I'm going to slack off today. I don't think he would allow that. So I think it's great that we have this guy down here at the University of Miami, man. That's tough. You said WWE coach. Yeah, he's definitely a character. I get to him. Man. Hey, but I love it, though. If he's going to get our players looking right and not just looking the part, actually being the part, then, hey, I'm all for it, man. Yeah, man. All right, so we got to – hold on.
Your potential. You've got to stay on edge. We play an edgy game, right? And if you don't stay on that edge, you come off that edge, you're probably going to get knocked down. So the best way to do that is to bring in great talent to make sure everybody's being coached as hard and as good as well as we possibly can and give them the best chance for success because they'll make each other better. Competition has to be welcome because it's the only way to maximize your potential. You've got to stay on edge. We play an edgy game, right? And if you don't stay on that edge, you come off that edge, you're probably going to get knocked down. So the best way to do that is to bring in great talent to make sure everybody's being coached as hard and as good as well as we possibly can and give them the best chance for success because they'll make each other better. Competition has to be welcome because it's the only way to.
Y'all hear the man. Y'all hear him. ACC Media Day. I'm at ACC.
Tell me, who are the strengths right now, the guys you can really rely on? Yeah, there are a few guys, losing Rambo and Harley, obviously, so we have a lot of guys that need to step up, but I believe in a lot of those guys. I think Keyshawn Smith, Xavier Restrepo, Frank Gladson, Jacoby George, Romello Benson, Mike Redding, I think those guys too. And then Brashard Smith, explosive player, really fast. I think most of those guys can really step up. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but we'll see. A couple of tight ends that aren't bad. Yeah, and then Will and Elijah too. The question I have for you is the receiving core. Tell me, who are the strengths right now, the guys you can really rely on? Yeah, there are a few guys.
All right, so I'll ask you guys the same question. It's kind of been a question that's been tossed around a lot lately. Who do you guys think will be that standout receiver this season? Who do you guys think gonna be that Charleston Rambo this season? Let me know. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, okay. See, hey, BB, if you're watching BB, you see you got caught in 4K again. You got caught in 4K. BB liked. You see what I got to deal with when I get on Twitter? Because this is what BB do all day. He like all the photos. Oh, man. They say greatest linebacker in Miami history, Dan Morgan. Let me know if y'all agree with that. Greatest linebacker in Miami history, Dan Morgan. Also, it's 44 more days, guys, until Miami Hurricane football. Sean says it's going to be Ladson. He thinks it's going to be Ladson, that standout receiver. Jose thinks it's going to be Smith. 1989 says he thinks Restrepo. So Dan Morgan, that's Miami's greatest linebacker. Y'all think so? You said that's thinking of cold peanut butter. Yeah, man. BB be wilding on here. BB be liking everything that walk. Oh God. Well, yeah, we already played all the audio from there. You said Jesse Arms. Okay. Also, man, shout out to Taste One Boiled Peanuts. Shout out to Taste One Boiled Peanuts. One of the sponsors for the channel. Make sure you guys go to tasteoneboiledpeanuts.com. Use promo code T2Y. Save $5 on your order. Taste One Boiled Peanut is a company ran by former 5-star Miami Hurricane wide receiver Lance Leggett. So make sure you guys go support that. Of course, it's strolling at the bottom of the screen right now, so you guys can see that. TasteOneBoiledPeanut.com. Make sure you guys go get your orders in, support the business. This is a Miami Hurricane that, created this business. So show them some love. Go get you a bag. And I promise you, because I've tried it myself. Trust me, you're going to love it. Most of you guys have already tried it. If you went to the spring game, some of you guys have already ordered it. I'm pretty sure you guys loved it. Also, guys, I do have a sponsor. We're going to talk more about that during the season. But there's some opportunities there for you guys to, get some free cash and stuff like that. So the closer we get to the season, I'll give you guys that opportunity to participate or whatever. But yeah, free money coming your way, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it exclusive to the members of the channel first. So what I'll do is I'll have the people that are members of the channel, I'll have them, sign up first or whatever, and then basically give them the money will be coming out of my pocket, so I'll be giving them the free cash to do it, and that kind of thing. Oh man. All right. See what else is going on. Oh, I guess today's Billy Napier's birthday. Nobody cares. Happy birthday, Sunbelt Billy. Oh man. Let me know in the chat. You guys want to see it's up to you guys, but if you want to see the interview from Mike Norvell from the from the media day, what he had to say, let me know in the chat. I'll play it. If you guys don't want to hear it, then I won't. But he was basically doing the salesman pitch like he always do. They actually got that boy a cake. Oh man. Y'all remember when Florida got that Avante Williams cake? All right. So Chris says he wants to see the Mike Norvell media thing. All right, cool. Yeah, the ACC theme, as you guys seen in the visual, in the thumbnail or whatever, they've been basically having the players, take photos in front of like this ACC light up or whatever, or behind it, as you've seen the other guy. And what they do, they make the background the color of whatever team you're on. So as you've seen, Miami's was green, could have been orange if we like and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the whole theme for their, photo ops or whatever. Oh, look at North Carolina. Look at old Mac Brown. They don't showed up on they legit. Them boys looking clean though. Look at Matt Brown. Look at Matt Brown. Look at them. Look at the shoe. Oh man. Yeah, man. Social media, man. The ACC network. I think they did a pretty well job. This media go around or whatever. Phil, he he kind of addressed some of the ACC expansion and all that, realignment stuff going on. I think right now he said that they're trying to renegotiate TV deals and stuff like that with ESPN and all that to make the ACC a lot more appetizing because, right now we got one of the worst TV deals in the country. And that's pretty much what's been going on right now. They're trying to basically make the ACC look a lot more attractive because the SEC is expanding, the Big Ten is expanding, the TV deals, the money, the market that they're in, they're gonna basically be making a phenomenal amount more than we are. So I think renegotiation is definitely a thing that must happen, but we'll see how that goes. He also said that the ACC is open to other teams. They're taking phone calls and all that stuff. So who knows? We might actually see a couple teams join the ACC, but I'm not crossing my fingers on that. Two teams that has been tossed around lately, and going back to possibly last year was Notre Dame and West Virginia. So we'll just see. We'll just see it as it goes. Yeah, but the ACC network, man. Media day been pretty well. And, at least none of the players in the ACC ain't putting no mayo in their coffee. I thought Florida putting mayo in macaroni and cheese was crazy, but I think that putting mayo in your coffee thing kind of topped that. Yeah, right now I'm strolling through Twitter, basically showing you some of the photos and stuff that's coming out of the ACC, media day or whatever. You got kids from different schools showing up, representing their school, whatever. What was that? Clemson, Jamarcus, Gaston. You got not quite sure who this guy is. Malik, whoever Malik is from the Louisville Cardinals. Mike Norvell, of course, up there on stage, just lying and telling some more lies. Florida State this, Florida State that. Let's hear what this kid had to say.
You or your team. As a team captain, how do you kind of turn that around and use that as a motivating factor? And what would you say are your driving motivators in this game?
Personally, I talked about this earlier. I'm not a big fan of getting preseason ranks and being ranked really high because I like playing as an underdog because you play with a chip on your shoulder. But as Coach said, it's just mindset this year and not getting complacent with the fact that we had a good season last year and just getting guys on board and obviously not getting complacent, but getting guys on board to want to be better and want to not only just go to the ACC championship, but a national championship is everybody's goal.
Anything else for Ryan?
You got your boy Jordan Travis, also from Florida State. He came with Mike Norvell, of course. Some more photo ops. You got Tony Elliott out of Virginia. As you guys know, he left Clemson. He went on over to Virginia as the new head coach over there. So he's representing Virginia today at the ACC media. You also had Matt Brown, of course. You saw him come off the jet. They're doing their little photo, passionate accountability and toughness. If we have more of those three ingredients last year, we could have won at Pitt and North Carolina State. We have to go back and make sure we're addressing the little things. So that's what he had to say, on behalf of North Carolina, the Tar Heels. Let's see, hold on. I didn't read Tony Elliott. Tony Elliott basically said, I tell my guys you have to become a champion long before you become a championship moment. Cliche. Sound good, but you ain't winning no championships at Virginia. Let's just be real. Tyler Van Dyke was asked by Katrina, I'm sorry, about his future behind the season. Honestly, I don't think about that. I just try to focus on my team and winning. Yeah. And also, Mario Cristobal can't speak too much on NIL, but I know back when I was student athlete, I wish I had it. I think pretty much a lot of athletes that went through college that probably didn't make it through the league, I know they're probably looking back at this now like, man, this should have happened during my time. Because, for whatever odd reason, they didn't make it to the league, whether it's, injury, whether it just, wasn't good enough. It's only so many players that could make it. So I know a lot of them wish they could have had the opportunity to make some money. More photos coming out. You see the North Carolina State guys, they're doing their press. So it looked like the ACC had a pretty good put together, whatever, graphics and stages and everything like that. Looked like it was well thought out. And you got some more kids out here with the drip. Tony Elliott with the drip. Hold on, is that a Clemson Tiger on there? Oh man, look at Tony Elliott out here talking about Clemson. Is he putting Clemson on there? Do Clemson play Virginia this year? That should be interesting to see why he got Clemson on his shoe. And you got your ACC commissioner here. We are not the professional ranks. This is not the NFL or NBA Light. We all remain competitive with one another. This is not and should not be a winner take all or zero. Man, when it comes to championships, sir, it's always winner takes all. We ain't teaching that participation trophy stuff. It is what it is. Now, when it comes to, NIL and all that stuff, it is what it is. Kids got to go out there and get it on their own. Name, image, and likeness is exactly what it is. Name, image, and likeness. If you got a popularity, you can go make some opportunities for yourself. So calling it the NBA Light or NFL or whatever, it's a total different story. And I know this doesn't say much, but I actually listened to the interview that he had. So it's more context to than just what is written here. But I think that conversation had more to do with the NIL. All right, so of course the North Carolina, they made their presence at the ACC Media Day also. You can see here Mac Brown, of course, players that he brought with him. British Brooks, running back. Not quite sure what this other kid name is because this guy's blocking him. Maybe some Tar Heel fans could clear it up. Probably Joseph Brown, probably Joseph Brown. I'm guessing that's Joseph Brown. Can't really guess the one at the bottom. Yeah, definitely Joshua Brown. Maybe it's Joshua. Who knows? Let's see what else we got out of this ACC Media Day. I know a lot of you guys don't really care about the rest of the teams in the ACC. We're not ACC homers or anything like that.
Wake Forest. Now, they had a huge season last year as the Demon Deacons surprised a whole lot of people, making it all the way to the ACC championship game. Hartman, a big reason why they were able to do that. Hartman saying today he's hoping they will take the next step this season and maybe earn a little bit more, maybe win that ACC championship game. And Hartman's name also already coming up in talks for the Heisman Trophy. But he's trying to keep kind of a low profile and just focus on the normal at one game at a time. He's also thankful for all the support he's getting from his former Low Country school and his former Low Country coach in Chad Greer.
You want to work hard and you want to have those expectations. That's why you put in the work, right? That's why you show up, right? It'd be kind of a weird mentality to not want that, that pressure, right? Pressure builds diamonds, the most cliche saying of all time, but it is true. I mean, it's the same way we did it last year. It's the same situation. It's very surreal, right? It sounds like a story or like a book you write, right? So. You'd love a Cinderella ending, but you got to win. You got to win your first game to get there. So, I mean, it's going to be the same way. The cards will fold. The cards will come out the way they come out.
Hartman and the Demon Deacons kick off their season coming up in just a couple of weeks.
Man, so okay, here we go. Mike North, something from Mike North.
Can you elaborate on that as well? Simultaneous sports and culture. I'm Katrina Sacken with Sports and Culture Media. Coach, you spoke on the kind of logistic issues that you were going to face heading into week 0. What are those, and kind of can you elaborate on that as well? Simultaneously, what are you focusing on with your guys?
Well, it's about that constant daily improvement, and the some of the logistical challenges are just the earlier start, having to work through, finishing, summer school classes and some of the things that kind of present themselves with just the daily schedule. But, one of the great things, that has been adjusted and adapted with the NCAA this year is we got a couple extra days to be able to work with. So now we have 25 practices in a 31-day period of time, which allows a couple more off days. It allows us to give more rest and recovery for our players throughout that fall camp schedule. And so I'm excited about being able to transition to that new schedule, and obviously just building to being the best that we can possibly be with every opportunity that we have during fall camp. And it's going to be a great kickoff for us. There's a lot of excitement around the program, but then it also does provide, playing week 0, it does provide a couple where we'll have 2 bye weeks this upcoming fall. And I kind of like how that schedule presents for our football team throughout the season.
God dang it, Norville, boy, you could talk 50 miles an hour. This man is the most fast-talking person I ever heard. God dang it, boy. I can tell why them recruits don't be wanting to go to Florida State. I can tell now. They can't understand nothing coming out your mouth. You could ask Norvell anything, boy. He could walk waters around you. All right, so dude name was Josh Downs. The other guy was Cedric Gray. Okay, so there we go. British Brooks. There go all the North Carolina guys. They finally, put their names on there or whatever. All right, some more context.
This is no time to be waving a white flag on that. And I'm not trying to be Pollyannish about it because I live in the, we owe it to those kids, Joe. This is no time to be waving a white flag on that. And I'm not trying to be Pollyannish about it because I live in the real world, in the real time, just like all of us do. And times change and move. But for us to ignore the affordability and access and opportunity that it provides to young people, I think that would be a huge mistake, huge mistake. And I'm okay with living in different neighborhoods. That's not my point about you got to be in the gated community. My point is the community is best when all neighborhoods are healthy, all of them. Some will never reach $25 or $30 million in revenue to provide for their athletics department. But that doesn't mean they don't deserve to be a part of it, to part of the system.
Man, I hear what you're saying, Commish, but don't go bringing in no group of 5 teams. That ain't going to bring no kind of good revenue, no kind of good ratings. Do not make the ACC even a bigger laughing stock than it already is. I'm just saying. Yo, that's a beautiful sight right there, man. Look at the Miami Hurricanes setup. And like I said, the ACC was on point today. Yeah, this thing set up nicely. Who we got here?
Right, yeah, looks like the Hokies just got another commitment. Thank you for the heads up in the back.
I thought they were raising their hands for a question, so thanks for that, Claire.
Yeah, we just got better, guys.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We're going to try to get into the left side. Coach.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, looks like the Hokies just got another commitment. Thank you for the heads up in the back.
I thought they were raising their hands for a question, so thanks for that clarity.
Yeah, we just got better, guys. Yeah. Appreciate the thumbs up back there.
We're going to try to get into the left side.
Wow.
Coach.
Hey, that's tough right there, man. Virginia Tech got a commitment. Now, most likely that's a 2-star guy. Maybe don't even have no stars. Let me stop, bro. Because I did look at Virginia Tech's targets, the kids that they've been going after this class, and it's kind of pathetic. I can't even lie. But hey, who knows, man? Who knows? They might be diamond in the rough. They might be that flower that grew from the concrete. I don't know. See that right there? See that right there, Peanut? I see you in the chat hating, Peanut. Right there, that's excellence right there. What you're looking at is excellence, Peanut. See all this stuff.
What's become that lineage of spot? It's been a lineage for Clemson the last half decade. They've gone from Deshaun Watson to Trevor Lawrence to DJ Uiagalelei. He was supposed to be the next step in what's become that lineage of great Clemson quarterbacks. But DJ struggled a little bit last year. Despite still winning 10 games, a lot of people wanted to make a change at the QB position. Uiagalelei saying today he heard all that. He did take it personally at some points last season, but he is back this year, ready to take the next step and ready to put Clemson back in the college football playoff.
And just growing up, I know my parents always taught me there ain't no reason to complain. I mean, no one wants to hear someone complain about something, complain, whine, make excuses for something. So for me, man, I just want to put my head down and work. Just keep coming out there, keep putting my best effort forward, and just keep out there and just working.
Just how he leads the offense, he's more talkative, more outgoing, and I think he's doing a great job leading the offense. And as an offensive lineman, you want your quarterback to, be talkative.
The past young quarterbacks that I've had, the last two young quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson and Trevor, they made mistakes, but we were much better around them. All right. Whereas with DJ, we were not very good around him. And so his mistakes were magnified.
What I learned from last season is the experience of just getting comfortability level of just going through a whole season and be able to be a starter the whole season. Being a starter for a whole season instead of just starting for 2 games. That's my freshman year. Taught me a lot about just how to manage it.
DJ even coming out to media day looking noticeably slimmer this year. He said he was a big change to his diet in the offseason, including cutting out ice cream, which I don't know how that is even possible.
This man said he don't even know how it's possible to cut out ice cream. Oh, man. Let me see if we got anything else coming out of ACC Media Day. All right, guys. Well, I think you guys heard the Mario Cristobal interviews. If you join in late, that's at the beginning of the live. All the interviews from the guys from Miami, Tyler Van Dyke, Jafari, Harvey, and Will Mallory, and of course Mario Cristobal. So appreciate you guys for tuning in with me. Appreciate you guys for hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel and all that. And go Canes. Catch you guys in another live. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be looking out for the kid commitment 9 o'clock in the morning. It's either Alabama or Miami. If you don't hear from me tomorrow, he definitely chose Alabama. On the 23rd, that's going to be like one of the biggest day for recruiting for Miami. So y'all keep on lookout for those videos. Like, share, subscribe, T2Y, and I'm out. Y'all have a good night.